If your home recently came off the market without selling, I know this can feel frustrating, especially when you went into the process thinking we've got a beautiful home and this should have definitely worked. And honestly, I'm seeing this more often right now. Good homes, good people, strong neighborhoods and communities, but the market's changed. Buyers are thinking differently and they're moving more cautiously than ever before. Many sellers, they're being left confused because the advice they received no longer matches the reality of today's market. Hi, my name is Noel Rivera, and I've been helping clients in Palm Beach Gardens in northern Palm Beach County for the past 17 years. And one thing I've learned over time is this. When a home doesn't sell, most sellers don't need pressure. They need clarity. They need someone who can calmly help them understand what may have happened and what their smartest next steps could look like. Not blame, not inflated promises, and certainly not another sales pitch. Just honest guidance. A lot of sellers I speak with, after their expired listing, they're flat out emotionally exhausted. This makes total sense. Listen, you prepare the home, you leave for showings, you keep getting feedback, and you constantly wonder what buyers are thinking. And after a while, many people start asking themselves, did we price this thing wrong from the very beginning? Should we have done something differently? Did the market change that much? Or do we need to go through this process, even need to go through it again? Those are very normal feelings, especially when there are so many conflicting opinions online and in the marketplace right now. Honestly, one thing I think sellers deserve more of is calm interpretation. Because most expired listings, they're not bad homes. Usually there's just a disconnect somewhere in between. Whether it's pricing, presentation, timing, simple buyer expectations, or how the property was positioned. All of that's fixable. But here's the real issue. One thing I see a lot of right now is sellers receiving advice that sounds overly optimistic without enough real interpretation behind it. And I understand why this happens. A lot of agents, they just don't want to disappoint a seller, right? But eventually the market tells us the truth. And the earlier we understand what buyers are actually responding to, the easier it becomes to make smart adjustments without unnecessary stress. Because affluent buyers today, they're very thoughtful. They're comparing things like, what's the condition of the property, emotional ease in this whole process, value perception, and future maintenance of any particular property and home, and overall confidence in their purchase that they're about to make, especially at higher price points. So sometimes the issue is not that the home is undesirable, it's simply that buyers are hesitating somewhere, and hesitation affects leverage, your leverage. I worked with one seller who was hesitant to make several preparation changes before bringing the home to market, before listing it. And it's completely understandable, I get it. A lot of homeowners naturally feel, listen, our home already shows well, and in many cases it does. But today's buyers are highly sensitive to presentation, emotional comfort, and perceived future effort in regards to that property. We talked about several adjustments that I believe would strengthen buyer confidence before we launched. Ultimately, the seller chose not to make some of those changes. And over time, instead of creating strong momentum early, the property slowly lost leverage and required repeated price reductions. That experience reinforced something I often talk about. The first impression buyers feel emotionally matters more than people realize. Those first 2 weeks, especially in the luxury real estate marketplace. This is precisely why I launched and I created the No Regret Relaunch Method. The method here is it's calm, thoughtful, and a process designed to help sellers understand what may have happened and reposition intelligently moving forward. The first step of repositioning is repositioning. Before relaunching a property, we take a step back and we look honestly at how buyers were likely perceiving the home. Not emotionally, strategically. We evaluate pricing, buyer psychology, presentation, competing inventory, what's happening around us, timing, and where hesitation may have entered the process. The second step of this method is the buyer presentation and confidence. This is where many expired listings improve dramatically. Affluent buyers want homes to feel easy, clear, emotionally comfortable, and worth the asking price. That's value. So we focus on reducing friction and increasing confidence, not creating perfection, just helping buyers feel more settled and certain. And the third step is leverage recovery, getting back the mojo. This is where we strategically rebuild momentum. We focus on relaunch timing, pricing psychology, negotiation positioning, and buyer communication, and how we re-enter the market in a cleaner, stronger way. Because expired listings do not need panic. They need thoughtful repositioning. My philosophy is simple. My mission is simple: to help people make smart real estate decisions during stressful transitions, and to create a process that's professional and it feels calm, clear, and thoughtful, and emotionally steady. Because sellers deserve more than sales pressure. They deserve guidance. They deserve interpretation. And they deserve someone willing to slow down the process enough to help them see things clearly. Listen, if your home recently came off the market unsold, and you'd simply like a calm, honest conversation about what may have happened and what your next steps could look like, I'd invite you to schedule a no-regret relaunch consultation. We talk you through the property, buyer feedback, pricing presentation, the current conditions, and most importantly, whether relaunching now even makes sense. If I don't believe relaunching immediately is the right move for you, I'm going to tell you honestly, because my goal is not to pressure people. It's to help them feel more clear, more confident, and less overwhelmed. Listen, the good news is this. A lot of homes that didn't sell the first time absolutely can sell successfully with the right adjustments and the right strategy. Sometimes very small shifts create very different outcomes. So if you'd like a thoughtful structure and guidance on how to move forward intelligently and without unnecessary stress, click below and schedule your no regret relaunch consultation today. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.